Hi, I'm Jesse with Camp Perspective, and we're here with Fitz, who's here for his first day of daycare and train. So what we're going to do right now, we've done no work with him. We're going to find his working number, and then we're going to start working on place work here. So right now, as you can see, he's kind of all over the place. What we're going to do is we're going to put the collar here to 15. That's typically where dogs start to feel it. And when I say the word tap, I'm actively pressing the button. Tap, tap, tap. No response. 20. Tap, tap, tap. No response. 25. Tap, tap, tap. No response. 32. Tap. So I see the twitch here. Tap, tap. So a little bit of a response there. Wait a moment. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, so we have a twitch and we're probably at what we call perception level. I'm going to go up a little bit, go to 37. So connection would be when you see the twitch and nothing is happening here. So Fitz could be staring at a squirrel and this is twitching and he just is completely unfazed. Perception is same context. You see the twitch, he's staring at a squirrel, but he starts to kind of look around and kind of like what he did here, those real subtle movements. And what we're trying to find is Fitz's working level. And his working level is going to be more obvious, where if he's staring at a squirrel and you see the twitch, he's going to give a pretty drastic or exaggerated movement. And that's the number we want to find. So I'm at 28 here. Tap, tap, tap. No response. 33. Tap, tap, tap. It's a little bit of perception. 38. Tap, tap, tap. A little bit of a bigger response. 42. Tap. Right. Tap, 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 tap. 47. Tap, tap, tap. Good. So here we're getting a bigger response. We're seeing him feel the twitch and like moving a bit more. This is 47 still. Tap, tap, tap. Right there. See that bigger movement. But I want to get a little bit sooner. We're going to try 51. Tap, tap, tap. You see how he's coming in close to me? So we're going to start at 51 for the next exercise, which is going to be the place command. We're going to be using this placemat, but that's essentially how we find the working number. Is in the beginning, you're going to just limit your leash, only giving Fitz so much slack. You're going to look at Fitz, start at 15, tap that button 3 times, looking for that twitch, and then if you don't see the twitch, you go up about 5 levels, repeat 3 taps. If you see nothing, you keep bumping it. I go in jumps of 5 in the beginning, and then when you start to see the twitch, that you now know you have connection. And then if you see the twitch with kind of a subtle looking around, that's perception. And what you're looking for is a bigger, of course, response, which will be the working level. And the working level is going to be different according to the environment. Right now I'm at 51 and I'm in an empty room. So outside on a walk, at Oz Park or in the neighborhood, your number may be much higher. So not uncommon in the beginning. As you repeat this exercise at the very early stages of training, you'll find your numbers kind of are a little bit inconsistent until eventually you get a feel for it and then you get more of a stable range. His number could be 55 to 65, depending on what's going on. And that's all stuff that you learn through practice and application. So that wraps up finding the working level video, and we'll start next with the place command. Okay, we're back with Fitz. We just did the working level, so we're still at that 51 that we left off at the previous video. And now we're going to start teaching the concepts of pressure on, pressure off. And we're going to use the placemat here to teach Fitz that. So I'm going to use the leash and a little bit of prong pressure. He's fitted both the prong and the e-collar because he's very strong and he's very pulley, and he likes to dart all over the place. The prong gives us a little bit more leverage while we teach him what the remote does. So I want to teach Fitz that when he feels the e-collar, that in order to turn it on, all he needs to do is go here. Now we're not going to use any words in the beginning. We're going to just solely use directional pressure using the leash and the e-collar, and eventually he's going to learn pressure on, and if he goes to the placemat here, pressure off. Okay, so it's a very simple concept. And that's the main reason for starting with this command, is we just want to teach him how pressure works, okay? So I'm at 51. I'm going to choke up a little bit here, a little bit of pressure, and tap, 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 and then relax. Good. So the moment he goes on to the placemat, we shut off all pressure, both pressure with the prong and pressure with the e-collar. So we were at 51 and now bumped it to 55. So here you can see how he was resistant going to the placemat. That's because it's an unfamiliar object to him. So once he got on, he overshot. So I countered him with pressure going back, coming this way. And then once he came on, I gave a little bit of counter pressure going back that way to stop him here. Now, I don't need Fitz to sit down. He decided to sit, but the main concept here is once he felt the pressure was to go to this placemat to release it, okay? So now we're gonna cue in the release word. Our release word is break. Break means your job is done. That tells Fitz, now you can step off of the placemat. Fitz, break. Attaboy. We're at 55. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good, much easier that time. Attaboy. Break. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Tap. Good. So now he's starting to assume what he's supposed to do. So each subsequent place command, because I'm not using words, was getting easier. Tap, 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 tap. Was getting easier because you're starting to understand the concept. Here, that last one, I gave him a tap, and he ran straight there because he's assuming, but also he decided to prematurely step off of the area, and I automatically kicked in with the e-collar, tapping in a slow rhythmic pattern. So eventually he repositioned himself onto the placemat. We do that to teach what we call the implied stay. So when we send dogs to place, we don't say stay, it's implied with the command, you go here and you don't move until I give you permission. So when he prematurely breaks off, we simply start kicking in with the slow tapping until he self-corrects. We don't give any warning, we don't say no, we don't say stop, we don't repeat the command of place, because we want the dog to learn, once we send you here, there is no option but to stay there, and if you do try to sneak off, there will be an automatic correction that won't disappear until you reposition. Break. So I don't want him to assume. So I'm gonna hold back here. We're at 61. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Good, because we want all four paws on. We're gonna bump it. 69. Break. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good. So right there you can see that I'm not putting any directional pressure on him now. I'm solely tapping. And after a few taps, he's looking around and he's whining because it's not discomfort. He's whining because he's frustrated because he's trying to figure out what to do. And previously, I was tapping and sending him there. So now he's assuming and jumping ahead of the exercise and trying to go there on his own, which is good because it means he's learning the process of, oh, when I feel this, I'm gonna go here, or they're just gonna send me there. But we don't allow it on his terms because we're trying to teach him to go there when we tell him to or in response to pressure. So we're gonna do a few more reps and then we're gonna start labeling in the place command. Break. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good. So I want to, as little as possible, or do as little as physical help as possible at this point, because I'm starting to see that he's getting the concept. So I'm starting to wean him off the leash pressure and go solely to the remote collar. Break. Because when he's off leash, the only line of communication you're gonna have is the remote collar. So we wanna start conditioning ourselves and Fitz to not become dependent on the leash pressure so much. Because at a later stage, if you're using the leash too much, even he becomes dependent on it, and then when you don't have it, he's not gonna know what to do. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Break. Tap, tap. Good. Break. We'll do one more. Tap, 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 tap. Good. And when you see him scratching, that's him trying to alleviate the pressure because he doesn't like the sensation. So we usually use the prong or use the leash to pull the dog away from the scratch and then keep the pressure on. So I'm gonna go down to 55. I'm gonna start using the word of place. So I want to cue the word place first and then kick in with the pressure. So if Fitz were to go to place through the command before I can kick in with remote, then he avoids the remote collar, okay? So we're teaching him, if you respond quickly, you can avoid the tap. If you respond slowly, well, the slower you respond, the more of the taps you're gonna get. And that teaches the dog to move quickly and not to delay. We never want delay in our commands. We always want to give the command and have the dog perform it immediately, because when we start to work on recall, and recall is like the most important command, you do not want to delay in recall, because if he's running towards something or running away and there's a delay, he could potentially run into the street or run into a dangerous situation. So if there's delay in all the other commands, then there's going to be a delay in the recall. So in all the commands, when you give the cue, the dogs respond very quickly. Okay? Break. Good. Place. Tap. 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 Good. Break. Place. Tap. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Good. So here, if he starts to run between my legs, he's trying to seek comfort. We do not want to reward that or stop. People tend to dial back when they see the dog trying to hide and stuff. And the reason why we don't do that is because you create unreliable obedience. He's going between my legs because he does not like the constant pressure. He does not like the stress. That's normal. But in life, when you need your obedience to be absolutely functional, there's going to be other things going on. There's going to be other stressors involved. We have to work them through these resistant moments. Otherwise, again, you have unreliable obedience. And he learns, oh, well, if you tell me to do this, I don't have to, and I can do this instead. For the dog, there are no other options other than to comply. Break. Place. Tap. Tap. Good. Break. Place. Tap. 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 Good. Break. Place. Tap. Good. Break. Place. Tap. 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 Good. Bump a little bit. We're going to go to 61. Break. Here we're getting resistance because we keep sending them to the mat with pressure. So we're going to just pull them off. Good. That's normal in the beginning. It means that sending him to place does mean something because he does not want to make a mistake because he knows we're going to send them back. So when we send dogs to place, Fitz, place, tap. Good. We want them to respect the command. They need to respect the command in order for them to perform it reliably. So when we say break and the dog doesn't want to get off, it's because he knows he's gonna be sent right back and he'd rather not make the mistake and just stay put. However, when we say break in this context, he has to move so that we can keep repeating the process. Technically, in a home setting, if you're applying this and you say break, technically, he's able to stay there because break means you're off the clock. So if he's doing duration work on place and you say break, and he decides, well, I'm going to just stay here for a bit, that would be technically fine. In this context, because we need to repeat the release and the send back to place, we need him to actually remove himself. So we're gonna do a couple more. Break. Good. And I'm not putting any e-collar pressure there. I'm just using the prong. Place. Tap. Tap. Good. Break. Good. Place. Tap. 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 Good. And you can see right there, we're at 61. Nice slack leash. And then 3 taps, and he directed himself towards the placemat. So for the place command, it means go here, don't move. There is no specific position the dog is supposed to be in. They could be in a standing position, they could be in a sitting position, they could be in a laying down position. Place simply means go here, don't move. So the first few, Fitz sat down, and now he's opting to lay down. That's perfectly fine. Here you can see I'm like starting to move around him because his job is to stay put no matter what I do. Now in the beginning, when we're starting the duration aspect, which means the length of time that he's going to be here for, we always want to start nearby, close to us, because it's easier to correct. You want to have your leash and prong on with the e-collar, and let's say you're going to watch TV, and I have Fitz's dog bed here. This is my couch, my TV's there. I send him to place. I have everything in my hands, and then I watch TV for the next hour and a half. And then during that time frame, Fitz might try to preemptively break because he decides he gets bored or he wants to move somewhere else. In which case you would just limit him and start remoting to bring him back to the placemat or the dog bed that you're using. So place is meant for extended use. It's meant to keep the dog still for a period of time, and you can do as long as you want. There is no limitation to the duration of this command. The last exercise I just did was what we call the sending exercise. We're teaching Fitz how to go to place through pressure, and we're trying to get it to be as easy as possible. So at the end, I did 3 taps, no leash pressure, and he ran there on the response of the place command. So when applying this, you always want to be able to reinforce the command. So in the very beginning, you're always going to have your equipment on so that you have some kind of control, because if you try to remove the leash too soon, Fitz will run off and then he won't listen because he knows he has more space to kind of get away with stuff. But in the beginning, always making sure to have your stuff, but also only practicing with Fitz as close to you as possible. Okay, so if you're sitting at your dinner table, if you're doing work from home, or if you're at your couch watching TV, anytime that you're going to be immobile for a period of time, you can utilize this command to start practicing duration, and you can build it to the point of where you go to a restaurant, you bring a towel or a blanket, you plop it down, you tell Fitz place, he goes there, and then he lays there or sits or whatever during the duration of your meal. And then when you're ready to go, Fitz, let's go, heel, pick up your towel or whatever, and then you can leave with him. But during that time, he is contained and he's not all over the place wandering, so that this way you can enjoy your meal. So we always start in very non-distracting environments, and then we build up to realistic context, like dinner at a restaurant or something. So here, you can see now he's like in a resting state. He's not whining so much because he's starting to understand the concept of the pressure. As we expose him more to the e-collar, he's going to start to understand it more as a language. Right now, this is foreign to him. Dogs are not meant to have their muscles contracted, so that's why we're getting a little bit of anxiety. Plus, he's already an overstimulated dog as it is. So as we expose him more to pressure, he's going to start understanding that line of communication. Also, he was learning something new. So as this becomes familiar with him, a lot of those anxieties go away. I'm going to do a couple more break of the place command. Pressure, good. Place, tap, good. Break. Place, tap, good. So you can see how it's a single tap and he's running straight there. So we'll keep building on this, and we'll of course practice duration work here at the facility, where he'll be laying down in between training sessions and play sessions for a couple of hours to also build up his length of time in terms of what he can hold for for the command itself. So that wraps up the place command. We'll be back with the heel.
Eyes are naked, camera perspective. Today we have a new daycare and train, Fitz. In this video we're going to be going over the heel command. One second. Okay, so the heel command is when Fitz would be next to on my left side, right shoulder aligned with my left leg, basically just like on my hip, and then for every step I take, Fitz takes 1 step. So if I take 5 steps, Fitz takes 5 steps. When I come to a stop, Fitz is to automatically sit next to my side. And this is all done with a loose leash in any environment. So we expect this level of control and focus anywhere. So like, you know, at Oz Park or at Home Depot. So when we're teaching this, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to start walking behind me, and then once Fitz's right shoulder passes me, I'm going to go ahead and tap and make a 180. So when I'm walking, he passes me, tap, 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 turn, and if he passes me again, I'm going to be tapping and turning. If Fitz lags, so that means when he's kind of falling behind, I'm going to give a tap and then increase my speed or just keep moving for him to catch up. If another thing Fitz will probably try doing is go to my right side. So heels left side only, no right side, it's just always locked in this place when under the heel command. So if he goes to my right side, I'm going to give gentle pressure to my left and pair it with the e-collar, then he'll flush out to my left side. Things we might see, I can tell he's overstimulated. Right now all the dogs are calm, so now he's calm. But before when they were playing, he just kept pulling me. He's got a prong collar on. I'm gonna stick with the flat buckle collar right now, but with the prong collar and e-collar, you want the prong to be on top e-collar. So it's prong, e-collar, then flat buckle, or the flat collar. Also, we're using the Nick button, the bumpy one for this exercise. When we are, let me see. When we're giving the leash, the slack leash, what I mean by that is giving enough leash for him to make the mistakes, and then not limiting his movements, so like not choking up on the leash but giving slack. So let me see. So right here, what I'm gonna have this have like a J shape with the leash, and that J is gonna end right above Fitz's armpit. If it's too low, Fitz is gonna be constantly jumping, going over it, and I'm gonna have to be constantly pausing the training session, fixing it. If it's too short, it does not allow Fitz to make mistakes, and we want to see the mistakes, and then, you know, so he can learn. What else? So yeah, I'll start walking. No words said, just walking. It's right here, tap. Tap. Good. Tap. Good. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good. Slow turn, tap. Good. Tap. Good. Tap. Let me see. Oh. Good. Good, no tapping there. Tap. 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 Spasm means of tap. 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 There we go. Tap. 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 Good. Good. Tap. 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 Good. Now when I come to a stop, he's already like almost there. But there's a lot of he's resulting to jumping on me, going between my legs. He's trying to escape the leash, the pressure, which is all normal. The jumping on me, pressure turns on when he's trying to, jump on me, go between my legs. So I had to like walk, like, keeping my legs close so like I can, at the same time keeping pressure, the e-collar on while he's between my legs, and then closing my legs so that I can squeeze him out at the same time, just to show him that's not an option. Jumping on me is not an option. Shutting down and resisting pressure is not an option. So when he went into that shutdown, I was slowly tapping. So tap, 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 increase it, tap, 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 increase it, tap, 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 increase it, until finally he was taking all this pressure and his neck was twitching. He was feeling it, and then once I got to the right number, he did a yelp and then just flushed to me, which is good. What else did we see? Again, it's a lot of this energy here. He's still locked in on it right here, as you can see, and he's also shaking, which is all normal because it's so much discipline, and I'm being very strict with everything he does. So he's going to be a little bit stressed because e-collar is a stressor. Just like anything with life, they have to overcome it. So once he's overcoming these first few lessons, it's almost like confidence building. So that's just like the basic, how to create the foundation of heel. He's not 100% there yet, but he's pretty close. With the auto sit, he kind of sat by himself. That's either one, he just did it. I didn't teach it yet or anything. Sometimes dogs will just auto sit and just like stare at you. And it's just them being focused, but then sometimes they just won't sit, and that's when we can show you how to teach it. Let me see. So if I move with Fitz right here, right now he's not sitting, so what I'm going to do is pull up and then tap. Good. So that's how we create the auto sits. If I'm walking with Fitz and I come to a stop and he stops with me, but there's no sit, just pull up and do a tap, Eventually, it's going to be leash pressure tap, leash pressure tap. In the future, it'll just become tap because if he doesn't sit. You won't have to do the leash pressure every single time because he'll know. Because dogs think in pictures. So like if I had like a placemat here and we were working on place and I tapped, he'd probably just go to the placemat. But here, there's nothing around us, so it's just me and him. If I give him a tap, he's probably gonna think, okay, this looks familiar. It's probably I need to sit, so he'll just sit. That's after a few reps and everything, teaching him heel and all. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. It's all normal stuff. Just a few moments where he, he's trying to escape the pressure, but we're teaching him the only way to escape it is to walk beside me, slack leash, and to just, stay on our left side, which is good. But yeah, after that whole exercise, he seems a lot more calmer, even with the play group right here going on. Before he was barking and whining and kind of pacing, so like overstimulation. So the overstimulation with the heel exercise will help with the overstimulation with the dog. So this is good for him. Hi, it's San Miguel Camp Perspective. Today we have Fitz, our new daycare and train. In this video we're going to be going over the stay command. So right now Fitz is not on any command currently. He's just in the position of sit. I didn't say sit or heel or anything. He's just here. So what I'm going to do, I'll go back and forth between heel and the stay. So right now we wouldn't say sit. It's just going to be stay in this position. So that's when you stay. So if he's laying down, we would say stay laying down in that position. But yeah, so since he's right here already, what I'm going to be doing is waving my left hand, cueing the word stay, and then pivoting out with my right foot. And I'm also going to hold the leash in a certain way, assuming Fitz is going to break it. So let me bring him closer. Good. Good. So again, wave the left hand, stay, pivot out with the right foot, and I face him. And I have the leash like this with my arm extended because I'm going to assume he's going to break it sometime. So if I have it like this, I can keep him in this position. If I have it like this, he's going to have all this leash to make it to me. But we want him to learn that stay in this position and that spot he's in. So we need the arm extended like this. And right now I'm going to do a little walk around. Good. Give him some praise. Good boy. Good. I'm going to go into a heel. Heel. Good. Stay. And when I'm holding the leash like this, it's not tense. It's loose, but I'm ready to give tension if the command were to be broken. Good boy. Good boy. So again, heel, left leg, tap. Good. Tap. Slow down to a stop. Tap. Good boy. Stay. Good. So he's not breaking it. If Fitz were to break it, I would stop my movement. So let's say I'm going in a circle like this, and he got up, I'd stop. I'd give pressure like the auto sits, and then pair with the e-collar until he sat. And then I do another walk around. And after this one walk around, I can do another heel and reset myself. And just keep practicing that. But he's doing good so far. Give some praise. Good. Heel. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Good. Slow down. Just stop. Good. Tap. Good. So here, left hand, stay. Pivoting out with the right foot. The reason why the right foot is so important and why I'm choosing the right foot is because right foot is a more advanced training with no words said. Right foot is stay, left foot is heel. So if I, instead of pivoting out with my right foot and I began with my left foot, Fitz has been so used to seeing the left foot move for heel that he's gonna just automatically move because he's thinking, oh, left foot means heel. So when we switch feet for certain commands, he's starting to differentiate the difference between, okay, that's stay, and then left foot is heel. But yeah, we haven't seen him break it yet. Right now he's still in stay. So if I move, he should still stay. Good boy. Sometimes when you give praise to the dog, they'll break it. Good boy. He's a good boy, Fitz. Good boy. Sorry, here, tap. Good. So this is not the position I told him to stay in. So up, tap, 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 tap. Good. Once he goes back to the position, I release the tension from the leash, and then I can stop tapping. Good boy. So when we're practicing this, what you can do is go for your walk with Fitz, and if you're on the sidewalk and you approach a crosswalk or like a red light, you can quickly just do like a stay command, do a little few walk arounds, and then once it's green, can you proceed your walk? Other ways are, if you're taking Fitz for potty, you can use stay, have him stay where he's at, use the poop bag, clean up his mess and everything, and throw it away. And he should stay in the position you told him to. Hi, it's Enrique, Canine Perspective. Today we have Fitz, our new daycare and train. And in this video, we're going to be going over the down command and sit. We'll be going over the down first. For down, there's two ways of teaching it. We'll do the first way first, which is what we're going to be doing is using the leash with our foot, and we're going to be, so what I'm going to be doing is using my left foot and then stepping on the leash, pulling pressure down, and then pairing this with the e-collar. I'm going to dip down since we're teaching something new, go down to like 25. So when I'm pulling down, I'm going to take my time, just give a tap, see what he does, and then continue to tap until he gives into the pressure. Things to expect, resistance, like going against the pressure, so he might be pulling up instead of going down with it. No words yet, we're just creating a foundation so that it can be consistent, and once it's consistent enough, then we can start to use the word down. So again, left foot pulling down, so pressure's going down, and then tap, tap, tap. Good. Good girl. And again, break. Good. Left foot on the leash. There's tension here, so I'm going to pair with the e-collar. So tap, 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 tap. Almost. Tap. 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 So right here, I'm going to continue tapping. Tap. 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 There we go. Good. Good. Break. So I'm trying to pull him up. Come on. Left foot on the leash. Tap. Tap. Good boy. Do 2 more and break. Break. Tap. Tap. Good. Break. So there are no tapping or anything, just the leash brought him down. So I can see he's understanding the concept. Good, break. Tap, 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 tap. Good. One more. Tap. 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 There we go. Good boy. Break. So he's understanding, he's trying to beat the tap. So that's the first way, leash, foot on leash, pulling down and pairing up the e-collar. The other way, that's a break, is like hand pressure on the shoulders. So right here, I'm gonna give a tap from the sit up, tap. Good. Good boy. So for the hand motions and everything, we're going to be putting pressure on his shoulder blades, not pushing straight down, but in an angle like this, so that he's able to fold down easier. Because if we're pushing down, his arms, they go straight, so then he's not going to be able to fold. So we want him to fold easily, and so we're going to be pushing him like into a folding position. And then same thing, once pressure is applied through the hand, I'm going to be tapping. Go lower again. Okay. So right here, I'm applying pressure. I'm not being forceful or anything. If you find yourself using too much force, it's just increasing the number. But I'm going to be taking my time here. So here's pressure on the shoulders, and then here's a tap, tap. Good boy. Good. Break. Then again, tap, tap. Good. And once he starts going down, I can take the pressure off from his shoulder blades. Break. So he's solid with the pressure and going down and everything. Once we see some consistency, we'll start cueing the word down, which I'll start. Break. Good. Good. So here I'm just gonna tap. Good. Okay, good. So when I say the word, I'm gonna start tapping, see what his response is. If he's struggling, then I'll start to help him out, either with the foot or hand. I think I'm gonna do the hand because it seemed more easier for him to understand the concept of that. So, but I'm also gonna step in leash just to limit his options. Down, tap. Good boy. Good. Break. Good, so here, tap. Good. 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 Wait a moment, see if he's gonna go down before I say it. So now, down, tap, tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Good. Down. There. Then that one was no tap. So as we can see, she's starting to get the hang of it and the understanding of what we've been practicing. So since I've drilled getting her into the down position so many times, she's just associating the word with it because that's all she's been doing right now. There was one time where she wanted to go between my legs and lay down, so I started closing my legs because I didn't want to confuse her going down into like a shutdown. So close my legs so she can go here, or he can go here. Sorry, Fitz. What else? Our down has an implied stay, so if we wanted him to stay down here, we wouldn't say down stay. It's just down. That's it. I'm not going to be. Right now, he is staying down, so we're doing a little bit of duration right now, but I wasn't too worried about it at first. Just having him understand the pressure and him going into the position of down. But now, since we've done down, we can do sit. So sit is similar to the auto sits. It's leash pressure up and pairing with the e-collar. So here, if it's sit, up, tap. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Good boy. Break. Good. Down. Good boy. Fist sit. Up and then tap. Tap. Good boy. Good boy. Down. Tap. So here, I'm gonna tap again. Good. If it's sit, tap. 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 Good. Sit and down. It's important to keep the leash pressure static instead of just like the yanking him up. So keeping the pressure just up, pairing with the tap, and once he starts to sit, releasing the pressure immediately and then giving him praise. There was a little like push-up exercise there, sit down, sit down. But yeah, what else? And with the sit as well, there's no stay implied, or there's no, you don't have to say stay right after sit, it's just sit, and the stay is implied with the command. When practicing the down command for like duration work, it's similar to the place command. What you can do is, you know, if you're working from home, you're at your desk, and you can have Fitz at your side, cue the word down, step on the leash, and have your remote on you, and then, you know, if he ever breaks it, you have, you know, your tools and everything to correct as needed. We didn't see, we did. So Fitz broke it one time, and I wanted to show how that would work with correcting it if we were at home and practicing this. So what I did is I turned the pressure back on, tap, 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 and he was getting more confused, so then I decided to give him help with the pressure on the back to put him back there. I did not repeat down though, it's just correcting if he breaks it. What else? Yeah, he did good with the going down. So yeah, right, Fitz, break. Hi, it's Enrique and Brianna, Canine Perspective. Today we have Fitz, our daycare and train. And in this video, we're going to be going over recall. So we have a few things with us. We have a 30-foot long leash, and Brianna's got the short leash. So both items are to create distance. So the short leash is to create the distance, and then the 30 feet is to, you know, have the space to do the recall. So it's like to make it happen. So when we're handling the long leash, we like to do the safety lock. So thumb through the loop and closing it, and then e-call in the right hand. And then with this hand, we're going to be reeling in the leash like this. And then once we get to a point where we want to limit the dog's options, we go ahead. So like we're reeling it in, and then we use our pointer finger like this, and then we lock it. So then, because we're reeling it in because we're going to be 30 feet away, or Fitz is going to be 30 feet away, and we don't want him to have another 30 feet to pass us. So we're reeling it in so we can just keep him close by. What else? So yeah, recall is, by the end of the session, we'll have the cue. We're not going to start off with any words right now, just teaching him that the e-collar is the one that's making him come to us. So he is to come to us when called and land in 1 to 2 feet like of the vicinity of the handler, and then to be in the sitting position. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll walk you through how or what we're doing. So Bree's going to go to the end, and like I said, without words, I'm going to pull the long leash, and then once I begin cueing tap or wording or verbally saying I'm tapping, Bree will let go of the leash. So right here, there's no tension. Right now, there's tension. No. So here there's tension. So with this tension, we're going to be pairing it with the tap. And then once Fitz is making his way to me, I'm going to be taking 3 to 4 steps back. So I think right here. I'm going to go to the wall. A few things we might see him get closer to Brianna because he's going to be thinking heel, or he might make his way to me and then lay down, or or run past me as well. And then if Fitz is looking confused, I'm still going to keep the pressure on with the long leash and keep tapping until he makes his way. If he shuts down or like, just stops coming, again, tension on the leash and tapping and moving back. If Fitz passes me, I turn, face Fitz, and begin the pressure on again. So leash and then tap, tap, 3 to 4 steps back until he makes his way to me. So here again, there's tension. And then tap, tap, tap. Good. 3 to 4 steps back, and I hold right here. And then for the sit, I'm going to tap. And then good boy. And then break. Break. So here, tension, tap, good. Tap, good boy. Break. Tension, tap, 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 good boy. Tap. Break. So he's getting a little whiny right now because we're teaching something new with the e-collar. So he could be getting a little frustrated right now. Because the whining stopped after we keep repeating heel. So now he's whining again. So here, tension. Oh, wait. It's good. Tap, tap, tap. Face him, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Break. So now since he's starting to get the hang of it, we're going to switch things up a bit. Instead of leash first and then tapping, we're going to tap first, then leash if needed. So here, tap, 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 tension, tap, good. 3 to 4 steps back and I hold. So this is a little too far, so I'll give a tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Tap, tap, tap. Good boy. So this is too far, so we're gonna face him and tap. Good boy. Break. Oh, fuck. Got real burn. So here again. Tap, tap, tap. Good. No tension there. So here he's passing me, so I'm gonna just face him and tap, tap, tap. Good. Hold. Good boy. Break. Oh. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Here, tap, tap. Break. We'll do a few more. Tap, tap. Much better. Much better with the placement and him not running off. Break. tap, 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 tap. There. Tap for the sit. Break. So now we're going to add a word to it. Or a cue, I mean. So what I'm going to be doing right now for the beginning stages of Fitz's training is going to be Fitz come and then immediately tap. Fitz come, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Good boy. Break. Fitz come, tap. Good boy. Break. Fitz come, tap, tap, good. Okay. Break. We'll do one more. Fitz come. Tap right there. Tap. Good, and then we'll cap it here. I'll find here. Andy has let out dogs if you just want to throw them in that playpen. Are heading out? Yeah. So everything we saw that was normal, the him passing me, the him not wanting to stick to Brianna. But yeah, so we started off leash pressure, tap, no words said, 3 to 4 steps back, hold, see what he does. If he comes to us, good. If he's not sitting, we tap for that as well. So it's tap, then leash pressure, so we know that it's the E-cloud that's making him respond. And then same thing again, if he passes us, face him, tap, 3 to 4 steps back. What else? Then we moved on to the cue word. So it's Fitz come, tap, 3 to 4 steps back, hold, see what he does. He has some consistency with the coming to the vicinity of me. Whether it's left, in front, behind, right side, does not matter as long as he's in close proximity. And then for the kind of just flying that way, so this command helps him figure out like what the answer is when he feels pressure from afar. So eventually in the future, if he feels that tap and then he can't hear you, he sees the visual of you making 3 to 4 steps back. He said, "Oh, I know what that is. That's recall," and he should make his way. So the reason why in the beginning we want to do recall tap is because if you're outside and he's off leash and you call him and then let's say he's making his way to you, but then you don't see it, so he hears you, he's about to run to you, and then you tap, he might think he's doing something wrong, so he might run the opposite way or shut down. So once we start in the beginning stages of recall tap, then he knows, even though I get tapped after the recall and even though I'm coming to whoever's calling me, that I still need to complete the command. So when you're practicing this, having a 30-foot long line for the first few tries. So if you practice so for example, an owner lived by a huge park and there was always geese there. So he was able to practice every day. With practicing every day, you don't want to drill it out every day. So let's say you go to the park and he's free, do recall like once, and then none after that. Then the next time you go to the park, do recall 3 times, then the next time none, and just to being inconsistent with it. As long as you're being consistent with the recall itself, like the process, you shouldn't have any issues, just so that, you know, if you go to the park and you're always drilling it, then Fitz might not be comfortable just running around, so he might stick with you. So making him comfortable running around, then calling him, is a good way to do that. If Fitz has good prey drive, so like let's say there's a squirrel, runs up a tree and he's wanting to go get it, let him go get it as long as you have your long line, and then let him get lost in it and bark at the tree and, you know, wanting the squirrel, then do the recall out of nowhere. But back to the guy who was, you know, lived by the field, the geese. His dog loves chasing geese, had a good prey drive, so he would switch it up. He let his dog go, recall him while he's running there. He'd recall him when he's about to get them, and then he'd recall him like when he's, you know, basically like chasing them. So, you know, recall can be done whenever you like. The more distractions, the better. And then obviously, since he's exposed to that area with geese every day, his recall was pretty much solid very quickly. So it's going to take a while. This command takes a while because it requires the owner to go to a place and practice. And but, you know, since he had the advantage of living next to a field, he had, you know, he can practice every single day. The opportunities he has there. But with the recall tap is only for the beginning. Once you see some consistency with that, after you, like, you know, recall and you tap again, he should still keep coming. So once you see some consistency with that, you don't need to worry about it. And it can just be recall. Then if there's no tap needed, no tap. But other than that, everything was normal, nothing out of the ordinary. The whining is just the frustration of learning something new, which is normal as well. Hi, San Miguel Canine Perspective. Today we have Fitz, our new daycare train. In this video we're going to be covering part 2 of heel, the heel turns. So, you know, for the heel command, what we've been doing is heel, start with the left leg, and then we continue. If I say heel, so for example right now, if I say heel, tap, good. Good. And then I slow down to see if he's paying attention, and then I stop. Good. And I'll show you again. Heel, left leg. Good. Good. And I'm going to slow down to a stop. Good boy. So a few things. Heel with left leg is how we cue the word heel and the command heel. I've said it in the first video of the heel command and a little bit of right now, but we slow down to a stop. We slow down for turns, so just like driving. So if you're driving and you need to stop, you would slow down first, and then your brake lights come out, and then the other person, if they're paying attention, they see that and they'll slow down, you know, with you. So same here. If their cars don't slow down, then they crash. So if for Fitz, if we're going for like a walk consistently, a consistent speed for a while, and then we automatically just stop, Fitz is just going to keep going because he wasn't expecting that. So the slowdown is like giving him like letting him know something's going to change. So again, we slow down before stops, like driving, and we slow down before turns, like driving. So the first turn we're going to go over is the left turn. We're going to be starting with the right leg, and then I'll show how that goes. So again, it's going to be the heel and left leg. Heel. Good. So here, tap. Good. So for the left turns, I slow down. He's paying attention, so I'm going to proceed with the turn. It's going to be right leg, right leg. And I'll do it a few more times. So again, slow down. He's slowing down with me. Right, left, right. Once we go back on the second right foot, the second time we go on the right foot, we go ahead and go the other way. And it's okay if you bump him. So I slow down. Right, left, right. Good boy. Slow down. Right, left, right. I slow down. right, left, right. I'll do one more closer to the camera so you can see. I slow down. Right foot, left foot, right foot. Right foot, left foot, right foot. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good. And slow down to a stop. Good. So, being very sharp. So on the first right foot, it was immediate. It's kind of like a military, like marching band type movement. Very sharp turns. And then once we go back on the right foot, it's another sharp turn that way. If you slow down and Fitz is not slowing down with you, he's kind of ahead, and you try doing it, it's going to be a little messy because you're going to run into his side, and then he's going to flip outward, and it's just going to be a little mess. But if you slow down, he's slowing down with you, good. If he's not slowing down, just go ahead and tap and turn, the correctional turn that we used for the first heel video. You shouldn't be tapping when you're turning. As long as he's turning with you, it should be good. It's mostly like, kind of like, this is like training the owner. Like he already knows heel. It's just like the owner, how to give him signals of like what's going to change. So for the right turns, it's going to be similar to the correctional turn. So it's going to be slowing down, left foot, right foot, left foot. And here I'm going to tap. Good. Again, I slow down. Left foot, right foot, and then back in the left, going the opposite way. So I slow down. Left foot, right foot, left foot. Good. I slow down, he's slowing down. Left foot, right foot, left foot. I'll do one more right turn. Left foot, right foot, left foot. Left foot, right foot, left foot. So I'm going to mix them up now for him. Do a left turn. Just tap, tap, tap. Do a left turn. Do a right turn. Another right turn. Tap, tap. A left turn. Right, left, right. Slow down, left turn. Right, left, right. So when practicing this, what you can do is bring him out to potty. So he's on break, so right, so break. So he can do whatever he wants. He can potty, not in here, but if you're outside, he can do his business. And then whenever you're ready for the walk, and he's done doing his thing, you're gonna wanna do, cue the word heel, and then just start walking, and if he doesn't respond, just tap. So for example, heel. So there he responded, no tapping needed. Good boy. And don't repeat the command if he doesn't hear you. It's heel, start walking, and then tap if he's not making his way to you. Don't repeat the command, say it once. And then before you start your walk, what you can do is do 5 left turns, 5 right turns, and then 5 like little mix-ups for him. It's like a little warm-up before you start walking, and then you can start your walk. But if you find that you're walking and Fitz is really on your leg and he's like curving like this kind of, go ahead and just practice from some left turns, because the left turns also help with creating space in the heel command. What else? That's it. Good boy. Break.